Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. Welcome back to the Ted Show. Look, I'm remote. I actually leave the Citrus Club to do things. And one of my favorite things to leave the Citrus Club for is to come to New Dimensions Wellness Center with these two amazing human beings. We have Justin Cobb, Brantley Hawkins. They're the founders, the CEOs, the CFOs, the head janitors. They're all the things that go into making New Dimensions Wellness Center so special. And they're also amazing human beings. So we're going to talk a little bit about New Dimensions. We're going to talk about their new book called Dis-Ease. Yeah, show them. Dis-Ease. I'm super excited for you guys to learn more about New Dimensions. You see my videos out there. If you haven't followed all of them, you should, because they create content that is so engaging. And this is a place where you come and you feel safe and at home. And so I'm super excited to have you guys. Welcome.
Thank you, Ted.
And we're standing up, right? We're standing up.
Hey, that's right.
We're gonna enunciate well. I'm overdressed for New Dimensions, but I haven't worked out yet.
But you're always looking
sharp. Well, thank you.
Always sharp.
Oh, see, look, $20 for each of you. So I told you before we went live that the audience loves to know origin story, kind of how each of you got from point A to here. Mm-hmm. And so I'll start with Justin. Justin, tell us a little bit about you and your journey.
So it's a long journey.
It's a long journey.
But how we got here, I grew up with a mother that was in the healing arts. She was a doctor of Oriental Medicine, big Eastern philosophy influence growing up. So whenever I had an issue or some sort of a symptom, she would always ask me, well, why do you think you have that symptom? I was never given pharmaceuticals, rarely ever taken to the doctor. And that's a whole nother story. When I was first born, saw the doctors, got vaccines, had a bunch of injuries from the vaccines, and that kind of probably pushed her towards that holistic side of health, trying to find natural ways to heal the body. But like I was saying, she would always ask, why am I having these symptoms? Why do you think you have a headache? Or are you dehydrated? Did you hit your head? Are you stressed out? So I always came up with that belief system that there's a reason why we have a symptom, and we just need to figure out what's going on with our body in order to heal. So that brought me to UCF, where I went through the athletic training program, worked with UCF football, the Orlando Predators, Cirque Du Soleil, then went to physical therapy school, got my degree in physical therapy. But I always had that alternative background, that alternative thought, and I always wanted to blend the Eastern with the Western.
Yes.
Skipping so many details here, but worked with the gentleman Chuck Wolf, who was a leader in functional movement, taking my mom's influence, meeting Brantley, and blending together the things that he learned traveling the world, the things that I learned from my mom, the things that I picked up, neuroemotional technique, and we developed this system and this process that we're putting together now and helping people every day, just like you.
Every day, just like me. And if we're in Justin's office, there are some cool crystals. You walk in and you definitely feel like you're at ease and at peace. Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate it. All right, Brantley, tell us about your origin story and how you got here.
For sure. So I'm a bit more traditional. I grew up, my mom took us to the doc every year. Was fully vaccinated with everything. Got the flu every year, even though I got the flu shot every year. I stopped getting the flu once I stopped getting the flu shot in college. So, that started to open up my eyes with different things. But I was sports medicine degree and then got a master's degree in exercise science. And I used my body as a science experiment. And I started to really explore how, I started to notice just the aches and pains that I was getting in my body, the compression that I was getting in my body. And so I wanted to explore what other cultures were doing out there. That's when I ended up meeting Justin, and he was doing some different components that he was bringing to exercise and medicine. And I started traveling around the world with my wife. So we went to Australia, Indonesia, Sri Lanka, Hawaii, a bunch of different areas in South America as well, and just learned how different people and different cultures were moving. And so I brought that back when we met back up with Justin, and we ended up creating a place that brought all of these different components together.
Yes. So what I can tell you is, as you guys know, I used to joke, and I still put out jokes occasionally about exercise and how that's an action verb that I don't do. What I love about New Dimensions, and let's talk about New Dimensions. What I love about New Dimensions is there's movement and alignment. At least in my brain, that's how things go. And I couldn't understand what that was going to do for me and how that was going to impact me. And because you're so used to this traditional workout, if you've ever worked out, and you're on all these machines and you're, I don't know, doing stuff you probably don't know how to do and probably shouldn't do because you're not trained on how to do it. Here we have professionals that help you in everything that you're doing, and the way that they set things up and the way that they take the time to talk to everyone to figure out where they're at so they can meet them there and develop a plan that is 100% their own plan is a beautiful thing. No intimidation. So all of you who have asked, did you feel weird going into a gym? I mean, I'm like, I know there was no bar there, but I still came. I mean, that's a whole nother discussion. There is a bar, but when you come here to get aligned or movement, you're probably not wanting to do that. But I loved the interaction that I saw with the therapists and the trainers, and how they worked with each person. They understood everything that was going on. So I'm talking about my experience, which has always been amazing. And every time I come here, I feel better. Mentally, physically, spiritually, you leave here feeling amazing. So talk about New Dimensions Wellness Center, because it's unlike anything I've ever been to. And I guarantee you the audience doesn't understand. So help them understand.
Quick thing. I think going back to me and Brantley's origin story, we both lifted traditionally, right? Playing sports. Me, football, volleyball, jiu-jitsu, you with soccer and rugby. I could look back on my life and there's really like 2 times where I really hurt myself, my back, things just not feeling good, aches and pains. And every time it was from lifting.
Yeah.
But like we were maxing out in football or doing deadlifts and something tweaked or something pulled. And at the time, we're like, I think that's normal.
Right.
Me and Brantley have both asked the question, like, is there a better way to move the body? And that's one thing that Brantley was, exploring as he traveled the world, and things that we both picked up from Chuck Wolf. He was a mentor of both of ours, learning how the body is actually designed to move and how you should move the body, which equates to exercise. Right. So although we're exercising, we're moving the body. That's the main differentiator in what we do here at New Dimensions compared to any other physical therapy clinic, athletic training clinic, gym. We move the body the way it's supposed to be moved, and we guide people to move the body through corrective exercises, through functional movements to allow the body to start moving freely without those aches and pains from overloading an already crooked and bad frame. But I mean, that's our bread and butter.
Yeah, this really is a rare place that combines elite credentials with holistic ideals. And we've often been called sophisticated hippies because
oh my God, I love that.
We take that holistic side, proven holistic methods, and we tie that in with, backed by different types of science as well. We're very well credentialed. I mean, sports medicine degree, master's in exercise physiology. Same with Justin here, physical therapist as well. We have chiropractors, physical therapists, massage therapists, personal trainers, osteopaths, exercise scientists, nutritionists, like you name it. We've brought all of these, a multifaceted approach into one place where everyone can work together. And we've gone beyond just the traditional exercise, the traditional medicine, and we want to take a more holistic approach to things. And it's not just, hippie holistic, it's a holistic approach, bringing all of those components together to allow you to be able to heal naturally. And one thing that, New Dimensions really talks about, and we'll get into it in our book as well, it's how we teach people this 1, 2, 3 component. There's only one disease, cellular malfunction. All right. There's 2 pathways or 2 things that can cause your cells to malfunction. Either the cell's getting too much of what it doesn't need or not enough of what it does. And there's 3 pathways that this can happen. One, the structure, which is how your body's moving or not moving, the way you're exercising. So if you are exercising, are you lifting weights traditionally? Are you moving more off the gait cycle, which you see across our social media platforms? This is your posture, all sorts of components on that side. Then number two, the things that you eat, what you put on your body, lotions, deodorants, pharmaceuticals, supplementation. All of these things can change the chemistry within your body. And then the final component, the mental and emotional aspect, and how do you handle stressors on a daily basis? Do you have morning routines? Do you have evening routines? And all of these things can affect one another. And that's what we really focus on here at New Dimensions, is clear the congestion, really allow the body to be able to heal itself, get rid of that inflammation, and focus on that cellular health. And we use those three pathways in order to do so.
And they do an amazing job. One of the other things, there's many things I love about being here. One of them is that no matter which therapist or trainer I'm seeing, they all seem to be caught up on me. It's almost like the teacher wrote down all the stuff so that the next teacher knows, hey, Ted didn't do this, or Ted had struggled with this, or Ted's walk was not great today, and here's why. And there's just this continuity that is so important. So you're not coming in fresh explaining what's going on every time. They really, they have meetings. This I know for a fact. They talk about each of us. They really do want you to feel better and be healthier in a way that makes sense, instead of you going out on your own and doing things.
Yeah, we've been doing this for a long time. And when it comes to how we help people, I would say me and Brantley are both perfectionists. We don't like anything being missed. We're harder on ourselves than anybody else could ever be on us. So we've obviously made tons of mistakes through this process, and we've always put things in place to try to correct our mistakes. And I'm glad you said what you just said, because that's something that we really pride ourselves in, is being on top of our clients, knowing what they need, hitting all three of those components. To my knowledge, we are the first place that has ever brought all three of those pillars together in a program, in a system that we can deliver to anybody in need. Everybody walking this earth needs to move their body. They need to nourish their body, and they need love. We encompass that here. Everyone walking this face of the earth wants to be loved and accepted, and we have the power to do that. And we have a team and we have a staff that constantly delivers that on a daily basis. So when you were talking about coming in and feeling intimidated, that's just not something that happens here. It will never happen. You come in, you're loved on, people care about you. We have the best of the best, and we deliver an excellent product that can help anybody.
Yeah, and that communication and collaboration, that is one of the biggest components. I mean, I even know back when I was working at UCF, I was getting my master's degree there, and just looking at how the strength department and the medical department were working. The strength department was too zoomed out, and the medical department was too zoomed in, and both made for a bad picture. So being able to have the two of them communicate in the way that I thought they should do is really what I brought here to New Dimensions, and what Justin and I grew together. So getting all of these different clinicians together in one room to be able to speak about you and your specific needs. So if you're coming in with an injury, well, the nutritionist is going to make sure that you're on a detox of inflammation, a detox diet. We're going to make sure that we're doing things to be able to flush the inflammation out of your body, from a physical therapy component, from a movement component, getting you in infrared saunas, red light therapy, oxygen tanks, all sorts of things that we can do to clear that inflammation. Well, then there's going to come a time where it's time to build strength. Well, now you need to go on more of a protein focused diet where we can build that muscle. The physical therapist knows, hey, here's what we're working on specifically, and your personal trainer is reinforcing what that physical therapist is doing. And so I don't know if you've ever been to work with a traditional sense hospital or doctor before, but trying to get one doctor to speak to another, is damn near impossible.
Right.
So having everybody in this office, and not only in the office, but in a room together talking about you don't see that anywhere else in healthcare. And it's truly special when you put the client or the patient first, and everybody is there for them.
I concur, and I can attest to it. So it's just as wonderful. You guys always ask me what I'm doing there and how it's going. And I just want to let you know that these are the way that they are talking with us right now is what they've instilled in the other people who work here. So it's not just doesn't stop with them. Everybody is tasked with the same love on people and be an entire, almost like a global view of what you are and what you need. And so the approach is unique.
It was really unique, and it was designed that way on purpose because you need all three of those. It was very intentional. That's what I was looking for. You need all three of those things to truly heal the cell, like Brantley was saying earlier. So if you look around town, or if you look at the history of medicine, you have your doctor. Maybe he looks at you from a biochemistry perspective, gives you pharmaceuticals. Or you have a surgeon, just looks at you from a structural perspective, cuts on you, does surgery. Or a nutritionist, just looking at your nutrition. But there's never been a model or a system that brought the structural, the biochemistry, and the mental emotional side together in one package. And you'll see it around town now. There's a lot of what I would call copycats, or kind of people popping up now that have infrared saunas or hyperbaric chambers or a cold plunge or a sauna and a cold plunge contrast, but nobody has the entire package the way we have it. And that's the New Dimensions difference. There's just a higher level of expertise and a higher level of care, all packaged together in one place, so you don't have to go to this place and then this place and then this place and then call your massage therapist and then talk to your nutritionist. Everything is right here, packaged. Takes the guesswork out of healthcare. It makes it easy.
We said this the other day. Private equity money can't buy our education and our knowledge.
That's right.
And that's huge. And from our experiences and what we've done, the different clinicians that we've brought from all around the world, which is really cool. Now we put out an application for, let's say, a physical therapist, and day one we have 75 applications from around the world. We were well known within our industry of what we're doing and what we're accomplishing here. So we really get to handpick the best from around the world, which is such a cool thing, because when you come in, and Ted's got to experience this, you don't just work with one clinician. And what we found is sometimes when you only work with one therapist, you can tend to get stuck in a rut. But when you're working with a team of therapists, they're all looking at you from different angles, and we all have a specific specialty, and then we can all collaborate with one another. So, everybody says two heads is better than one. Well, we've got 22 all working with you at one time.
And they all take notes and they all talk. So again, you're not starting over each time. You're just getting that therapy or that training just with a different perspective, which is really cool. Yeah. All right, let's talk about your book, because not everybody can say they wrote a book. So show them the book, and then
we got some news, Ted.
Oh, we got some news.
Is this the first time this is coming out?
This is the first time.
Oh, we got a first time. I got an exclusive.
So we just found out earlier this week. This has become a national best-selling book. We hit #1 on Amazon. And
that's amazing.
Couldn't be more excited.
Yay!
That's so awesome.
It sold over 1,000 copies on the first day, and it's being sent all over the country, really all over the world right now, which is really neat. There's been such a huge movement in health and wellness in general, not only in the mental aspect, but the biochemical, which we're talking about, as well as the physical. And so that's what this book really dives into. And man, you're the first.
I'm the first. #1 bestseller.
That's right.
All right, talk about the book.
All right.
How did it come about?
It's really just our story. and we've already chatted about the 1, 2, 3 and cellular malfunction, but that's really what we go into it in depth here, letting people understand that this world of health, fitness, nutrition, that seems to be overly complicated and constantly contradicting itself. I should drink this, I should eat that, I shouldn't do this, stay away from X. We really simplify things because what we found overall is it really depends on the individual and what they need. But if you have a solid foundation, you can figure out what you need versus trying to guess back and forth. So we teach you and help you understand in this book, how should I move? And what type of foundation do I need for exercise and movement? And that doesn't mean that you can't do bodybuilding, or you can't do CrossFit, or you can't do power cleaning. You can do whatever it is you want to do and what you love, but there's certain ways that our body have evolved to move over time. If you're not respecting those ways, you will get injured. You're not going to be able to do the things you love. And that's going to limit your active life. Then we get into that chemical component as well, helping people understand things like, well, the clean chemical spray that you have in your house that you think is clean, well, actually it's got X, Y, and Z here. And this is
G2.
a couple G's and and how does this affect your body? And all of these small little things as they happen over time. And that's what we put here for the subtitle. It's today's silent epidemic. This is going to happen slowly over time. You have McDonald's a couple times when you're a kid, nothing ever happens. You just burned it right off. Well, there was a lot of junk that went into some of that food and those meats. And, as this happens from different lotions, deodorants, pharmaceuticals that you slowly put on your body, there's no quick reaction that happens to that most of the time. It's over time what it does to you and how it can really rot your insides, change the way you think, the way you see things, the way you're able to move, and it can really take life from you. So we're helping people understand how to make some of these changes by first bringing education to them and awareness, because most time you don't know and you assume the products that you have are safe. And a lot of the times with marketing, you can look at it and you go, no, this is a clean product. But if you don't know how to read the back label, or even if you do know how to read the back label, half the time you look on there and you go, I have no idea what any of this stuff is. And so we really simplify an overcomplicated, or what can be an overcomplicated subject for people.
What do you want people to take from the book? When they read the book, what's a thing or top two things that you're like, this is what I really want you to get from this?
Awareness and better choices. Like Brantley was saying, there's a lot of, we dive into this quite a bit in the book too, but there's a lot of marketing out there designed to make you to want things and buy things for capitalism, right?
Yeah.
Everything is a business at the end of the day. They want to make money. So a lot of these products are out there and they're just flat out not good for you. They're not healthy, but we use them, we consume them. And like Brantley was saying, they rot our body. They create inflammation. Inflammation is pretty much the cause of cellular malfunction. Your cells malfunction, you have symptoms. We can label those symptoms, wherever they're happening. If it's the skin, maybe it's a tumor or eczema. If it's the hair, it's alopecia. If it's the heart, is a heart attack. The liver is cirrhosis. But at the end of the day, it's cellular malfunction. So I would like this book to just bring awareness to people to start making better decisions, think about how they're moving, what they're bringing into their body, what they're putting on their body. And then 3, what they're thinking and what they can do to de-stress their life, declutter their mind, and at the end of it, feel better.
Yeah, we could all use that.
Yeah, clarity and then a foundation. I think that's one of the biggest things. If you can understand and have a proper foundation in your health and with your health, that's what this book goes over. And then you can continue to build from there. I was talking with Dana, who works with us here, and we were having a conversation about like, how much do you do for, like your skincare routine or your just overall health and wellness? I'm like, I don't do anything. I splash water on my face. And then I thought about it a little deeper and I go, well, I sun my tatas every morning.
You do.
I go out there. So you
got to look at those videos.
I get red light on my face. So sunlight on my face in the morning. I use tallow and honey versus other lotions. So it's all a very natural component. I eat extremely well. I move my body. I hydrate. The water that I drink is extremely clean, reverse osmosis. I have a water filter on my shower. I have a water filter on my entire house. And so as I started thinking about it, I go, wow, I actually really do a whole lot for myself, but I don't think about it because it's become who I am and part of my personality. So it doesn't seem, it's not a hard thing for me to do, but that takes time. And so being able to build the foundation and slowly make adjustments throughout, all of a sudden you look back a year, 2 years, 5 years, and you go, wow, I guess I really am doing a lot, especially when you're talking about compared to the average bear.
So one thing I want everyone to know, you read the book and then you go, well, that's amazing. What do I do? The great thing is you have a support system here that I can talk about from the heart and from experience. So it may seem overwhelming to do some of the things that we're talking about, but that's why you're part of the New Dimensions Wellness family, because they provide you the support and They're your answer, your resource. Their whole goal is for you to be better, you to be more whole and less toxic.
That's right.
And so that's the beautiful thing. That's what separates you. You can read a book all day long, but if you don't have the support system there and the people who actually believe in it, and then they have actual systems here for you to be able to do the things that they talk about in the book. That's the gold to me. That's the gold right here. All right. So one last personal question that I like to ask. You guys don't know about this, but I do love to ask this, and I'm going to give Justin the break. I'm going to start with Brantley. When I think it's really important. People don't speak out loud enough about what they're feeling. This goes to your whole body, your whole soul, your whole mental clarity, and where you're at with your heart. Mm-hmm. So when I say the word hero, who's the first person who comes to mind?
My mom and my brother.
Okay, tell us why.
Yeah, I mean, well, my brother and I, went through. My parents went through a divorce when I was younger, and I always had my brother right there by my side. And so we've gone through a ton together, and I know I could always turn to him for anything 100% true and unfiltered. And so I think that is heroic, to be able to give somebody something true and unfiltered at any time. I think it's one of the most heroic things I could do, or anyone could do. Not to mention the military component of what he's done, service for the country. I mean, just somebody I really look up to, not just because he's 6'1", but also,
for service guy.
Yeah. But I'd say my brother for sure, and then my mom right there. What she's done, the position that she's put my brother in and myself in, for us to be able to find success so much has been great. Father as well, but just a good supportive family has meant the world to me. And but yeah, I'd say my brother comes to mind first for that.
Thank you for sharing. How about you, Justin?
Same question?
Yes, same question.
Even when you ask, I can't say I have a hero. I have people that I look up to. I have great friends for almost the same reasons that Brantley was speaking about. People that are honest with you, that will always have your back, that will be there for you, that you can count on, accept you in your ups, your downs. That's what life is, right? Life is about love and acceptance. We were talking about that earlier. Right. So they're not hero figures to me, but they're people that I love, and I'm big on love. We're huge on love here, and you'll see it all over New Dimensions. All love, everything. All love. I mean, Brantley both have it tattooed, on our hands. So to answer your question, I don't have one hero.
Well, you answered. That was good.
Have them close with that. Explain love. All love, everything.
Yeah. So an old Bible quote. Well, there's so many of them, but one is, I don't want to owe a man anything but love. And in every spiritual book around the world, it says God is love. So a lot of times people might ask me, I'm sure you might get it sometimes too, hey, man, what is your religion? Are you Christian? Are you Catholic? Are you Jewish? Are you Buddhist? And I always tell people, I guess it's still a Bob Marley quote, but man, love is my religion. If you conduct yourself from a place of love, you're not coming from a fear-based place. Everything you do is trying to bring an authentic, genuine love to help somebody else. You're coming from a very godly, spiritually guided place, and people pick up on that. People know that. And when people come here, they feel that.
That's our culture.
That's our culture. That trickles down on. It takes me back to COVID times, but we had so many people coming here and saying, like, thank you guys so much. This is my safe haven. Yeah. This is my safe place. When every other, gym shut down, and, making people feel kind of weird about exercising. I'm like, me and Brandon, but like, this is what keeps us healthy.
Right.
Yeah. And we're exercising, we're moving, we're in the sauna, we're doing all these things to keep our immune systems up to combat this virus. And again, coming from a place of love, not that fear-based place of, oh my God, but like, man, let's love our way through this. We love you. We're staying open. We're taking the guidelines we need to take. But so many people came and said, like, this is my safe and happy place. And that actually makes me quite proud.
It should. And everything he said is absolutely how it is here. I can attest to that. I talk about it every chance I get with anybody who will listen. New Dimensions Wellness Center, you can find it at ndwellness.com. I want you to get the book, download that, and then once you read it and go, holy crap, what am I doing with my life? I want you to come and talk to Justin or Brantley or one of the team and really check it out here, because what he said is true. And I know you guys have asked me because you feel intimidated where you're at. You feel like you're kind of off doing your own thing and you don't know if your own thing is right and there's really no support. There's 100% support here. So what Justin and Brantley shared is 1000% true. I love these guys so much. They're amazing.
Love you too, brother.
I really do. And we will be back. We have some big news coming up too. There's another location. We have lots of stuff going on, but I want you to check it out. I want you to follow both Justin and Brantley. It's ND Brantley, I think, or ND Justin.
ND _Brantley,
Instagram, and ND Wellness. And you can obviously find that. I'll put that in the link below. But these guys are the real deal, and their entire team. It's like a family here. So
ND Ted.
And ND Ted. Oh my God, you should totally do ND Ted. All right, guys, we'll see you soon. Get out, be healthy, find your tribe. This is definitely your tribe. All right, see you.